Hi guys, and welcome to Creative Cakes by Sharon. With Mother's Day approaching in some parts of the world, some of my friends and I over at the Dessert Network have put together some gorgeous ideas that you might like to make for your mum for this Mother's Day. You can get the links to each individual video below, and I'll also leave links at the end of my video. My contribution to our special Mother's Day collaboration are these crisp white wafer paper roses. So let's get started. To make these roses, I'm using some circle punches, a couple of toothpicks, a pair of scissors, some edible glue and a paintbrush, 2 different sized styrofoam balls, as well as some white wafer paper. I'll leave the full details in the description box below. I'm going to create the small rose first, and I need to cut out around 13 or so little circles. If you don't have a circle punch, you can just use a cardboard template to trace around and then cut them out. I must admit I used to do this, but believe me, investing in a punch is totally worth it. Now once I have all the circles, I'm going to save one to a side, and with the rest of them I need to make a little cut in the circle that goes right to the center. You can cut a few of these at a time, but be aware that if your scissors are very big and thick, you could damage the wafer paper if you cut too many at a time, because it's really quite a brittle material. The wafer paper has a rough and a smooth side, and today I'm working on the smooth side and just dabbing the slightest amount of edible glue onto one of the cut edges, and then overlapping the other side and sticking it down to make little cone-shaped petals. It really only takes just a few seconds to stick together, so you can get through this step fairly quickly. Now that all the petals are ready, I'm going to start to create my rose. First adding a little glue to the ball, and then I'm going to stick 3 petals, making sure each petal is placed just underneath the previous one. You'll end up with a little intersection where the 3 petals meet, and this is the center of the rose. Now I'm going to add 5 more petals to the rose, and each time it's important to make sure you're sticking the joins to the bottom of the rose, because we don't want to see those at the top. When sticking the first petal into place, position it over the join of the previous petals. Always slide each petal just underneath the previous petal. Once you do this all the way around and come to the very last petal, once it's in position, you can then go ahead and stick down the left side so that all the way around the petals are nice and secured. Now I'm going to repeat this process once more to create one more layer of petals for this small rose. I have a few little petals left over, and it's always good to have a few of these spared just in case you wet one of them too much, because what you'll find is that they disintegrate, or sometimes they can just get stuck together on the side here. So finally I'm going to use the one uncut circle from the very beginning and attach it to the bottom of the rose so that we get a nice neat finish. Now if you want, you can gently slide a toothpick into the bottom of the rose, and this helps to place them easily into your cakes. Moving on to a larger rose now, once again I need to cut out the circles. I generally use between 17 to 21 of the little circles depending on how big I want the rose to be. Now today I've used styrofoam balls, but you can also use balls of fondant or gum paste. Really the only difference is that it's a lot heavier with fondant and gum paste, and you also need to let the balls harden up for a while before using them to avoid squashing them out of shape. However, if you're after an entirely edible flower, by all means use the fondant. So to create the rose, I start with 3 petals for the center and then start to add the outer petals around the rose. These roses are really pretty and very modern. They really have a beautiful, sharp, crisp, clean finish, and I love using them because they're incredibly quick to make. You can use them instantly and they look quite amazing on a cake. Remember as you go along to overlap each petal, and I do this by sliding each petal under the previous one. Finish off the rose by sticking a flat circle to the bottom, and once again you can insert a toothpick to help you position it on a cake. Here I have a few that I've made. Some like this one have a fondant center and they really are quite a lot heavier than the styrofoam balls, but they're still very pretty. So here's what they look like on a cake. I've just added a few little pearl strings to pretty it up for Mother's Day. I hope you liked watching how to create these wafer paper roses. They're super quick to make, and once you get the hang of them, you'll be making heaps of them for your mum. Guys, be sure to like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all of my videos. Connect with me on any of my social media, as I always love to hear from you guys, and you'll also get to see what other things I get up to. Once again, here are all the other lovely Mother's Day ideas for you. The links are on screen, so hop over and check them out. I hope all the mums out there have a very happy Mother's Day. Guys, I hope you tune in next time, and as always, thanks for watching.